New year, new me.
You mean older you?
There's nothing new about you.
2026 has been a pretty hectic year so far, and we're just 3 months in. And with all the evil that's happening, it's only right to continue this character alignment list and talk about the neutral evil characters in animation. The characters that are evil just because. Also considered the true evil, these characters often have their own interests in mind, and will break or follow the law if it advances their motives. They're unpredictable, have little respect for most people, and usually use people like tools to get ahead in life. Surprisingly, the neutral evil characters are usually the most dangerous out of the 3 evil types. The ones that will cross any line to get what they want. Some examples of a neutral evil character are bullies, con men, gainbaners, sociopaths, and evil overlords. So, with that in mind, here are my picks for the top 10 neutral evil anime characters. Let's kick off this list with a classic Disney villain from the 90s. The Little Mermaid features Ariel, a literal mermaid, who yearns to become a human in order to be with Prince Eric, and she decides to give up her voice to Ursula in exchange for a spell that will turn her human for 3 days. But if she can't win Trula's first kiss within that time frame, she'll become another piece in Ursula's collection. Now, rules are rules that Ursula explains, but this sea witch knows how to tamper with the situation and make herself the victor.
I might be willing to make an exchange for someone even better.
Ursula embodies neutral evil through her absolute self-interest and transactional approach to life. Ursula only has one goal in mind: seizing King Triton's trident and ruling Atlantica. To achieve this, she operates outside the established moral order, but not against all order, like some chaotic evil characters would. She sets up shop as a sea witch, offering Faustian deals to poor, unfortunate souls.
You'll have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of body language.
Oh my god!
This is her method, and her deals are technically binding contracts, showing a prefers adherence to structure. But she writes the fine print to ensure the victims like Ariel are destined to fail, allowing her to collect the price. When Ariel signs the contract, Ursula respects the letter of the law, but breaks the spirit of it by sending her minions Flotsam and Jetsam to sabotage Ariel. She then takes on the human form of Vanessa to actively prevent the kiss, further manipulating the agreed upon conditions. Ursula will follow the rules, but she's unpredictable in her tactics, moving from trickery and manipulation to outright magical assault. Yeah, Ursula is perfect for a list like this.
You pitiful, insignificant fool! Look out!
It's a no-brainer that in the world of My Hero Academia, there are going to be some villains that inhabit the area in order for a hero academy to exist. Now, throughout the manga and anime, there have been some pretty memorable villains that faced off against the class of 1A. From the cruel and despicable Overhaul, to Vigilante Stain, to fan favorite Shigaraki. But keep in mind, Shigaraki is only who he is because of one person. The single most strongest villain in MHA, a quirk that steals other quirks as his own. And if that's not enough, he's one of the most shameless individuals here too. All Might's greatest rival and a mastermind in villainy.
Hollow cheeks and sunken eyes, to think that you're their greatest hero. Now the adoring public knows your true form. Try not to be ashamed.
All For One is pretty irredeemable for the most part. He is by far the most malevolent and overpowered antagonist in the series. He's got a quirk that overmatches All Might's at multiple circumstances. Though that's not what makes him a true evil character. Sure, he's deadly as sin, but it's also his genius and ambitious patience, letting his apprentice Shigaraki and the League of Villains mature and blossom into an unstoppable force while he was absent. And when it was time for him to come back, he came back with an iconic comeback. He's got a devout number of followers, and a quirk that outlives a number of other stronger quirks at his disposal. His intent to become a god emperor by taking all of the quirks and making him a provider of sustainable resources is definitely something a narcissistic person would do. All For One boasts a staggering power in a class all of its own, and it's no wonder he's feared by many.
Is that so? Ah well, I'd forgotten how stubborn you are. I guess I'll just give up.
I'm lying.
Goth time.
This one may be a bit divisive since a lot of people would consider this character pretty neutral on morality. But in the end, this person still fights for evil, so neutral evil you are.
I don't make up the rules, guys.
In the show Kim Possible, the main baddie is Dr. Draken, a mad scientist aiming to take over the world. His sidekick, Shigo, doesn't aim to take over the world, yet she doesn't really care much about the world anyway. Heck, she doesn't actually seem to care about the evil part as much as she cares about her own personal satisfaction and convenience. A perfect fit for this list.
I could have done that.
But can you do this? Kim Possible has something that belongs to us.
Initially, Shigo was a superhero working alongside her family in Team Go, but she quit because she found the endless cycle of saving people to be boring. Her motivation for becoming a villain was not ideological, power-hungry, or driven by a deep-seated desire for anarchy, but by sheer, jaded apathy and a search for a more engaging career path, which is probably why she worked so well with Dr. Draken.
I don't think so.
What?
Your brain thing blew out the power. Smooth move.
Cheap rental lair.
While she is clearly a villain, Shigo occasionally displays unexpected moral lines that only highlight her self-serving nature. For example, she generally won't betray Draken to a third party because that would complicate her work life. She shows fleeting concern for Kim's well-being in certain non-villain scenarios, but only to maintain the status quo of their rivalry, which she finds fun. She's the epitome of a professional mercenary whose true allegiance is only to herself.
Maybe you ought to lay off the caffeine. It keeps you awake.
It's no surprise that any criminal would most likely fall under neutral or evil territory. Like, they may be sympathetic as to why they're a criminal, but still, they did a bad thing, so what do you think was gonna happen? Now, there's a lot of criminals in the world of The Simpsons, with different personalities that make them stand out. You got Snake with his Valley Boy accent, and Fat Tony with his mob persona. I was actually considering Fat Tony on this list, a crime lord who is often seen cooperating with the police as well as evading them, although the police in Springfield are kinda dumb. But I mean, I just can't pass up an opportunity and not talk about my favorite Simpsons character here.
Doesn't it say die, Bart, die?
No, that's German for the Bart. The.
Let's be honest, Sideshow Bob is one of the most hilarious TV cartoon villains out there, and he fits this alignment really well. He's ultimately in it for himself, and works within or outside the law when it fits them. Sure, most of the time it's out of force, like when the police let him go only to help solve a suspected murder case, and has to wear a buzzer if he goes rogue. Bob has shown signs of redeeming qualities, but it always ends up going back to his evil tendencies.
A volley of musketry flamed, thundered, roared. A profound silence followed.
Bob varies between outright criminal and murderer to an actual leader. I mean, he was in charge of building a new dam for Springfield and once became mayor for a small town in Italy. That episode kinda derailed Bob a little bit, but nonetheless. Bob is driven by a towering sense of superiority and self-interest. Underneath his high culture persona, he is ruthless, transactional, and entirely self-centered. He is evil purely for the sake of his ego, making him the perfect case study for neutral evil.
But Colonel, I'm under strict orders.
Sweet Enola Gay, son! Get moving or I'll tear you up like a Kleenex at a snot party.
Sir, right away, sir!
Sith Lords really do fall under any line of order, but they are all evil no matter what. Some, like Darth Vader, take the lawful side of things, while the ever-cool Darth Maul is more chaotic than others. Then you have Palpatine, who has the middle ground, prompting characters like Vader to be more civil, while still having a bit of an edge to them personally. The anime show The Clone Wars explores more characters beyond the movies and expands upon their morals too. And here, we have a Night Sister of Dathomir making her way into our number 6 spot.
The pleasure's all mine, my dear Obi-Wan. I've missed you.
Now, I understand some people may testify to this being unfair to the character. After all, Asajj goes from being a heartless villain to a heartbroken anti-hero, but let me explain. If you think about it, Asajj was pretty much born into the Night Sisters, an already evil formation, and while she showed no commitment to the Sith ways, she still decided to be Count Dooku's Dark Assassin and operative. She is certainly evil. She commits numerous murders and atrocities without remorse, and at times, she follows Dooku's orders and participates in military campaigns. Now, following his betrayal, Ventress abandons all loyalty to him, with an attempted assassination no less. Now a bounty hunter, she only cares about the pay and the job, and will often work for or against the likes of evil politicians or even the Jedi. One thing's for certain though, she respects no law but the law of the deal, and she uses any means necessary to survive and thrive.
You and your precious Jedi Order.
What do you all think about psychics? Me personally, I feel like they're fake grifters who swindle their way into people's past and fake guidance. Now, you can form your own opinions on the matter, but there are some shady individuals in this field, fictional ones too. Let's go down to the fictional town of Gravity Falls, Oregon, A lot of weird, paranormal things happen in the small town, but sometimes the humans here are a bit crazy as well. Case in point,
you've just made the biggest mistake of your life!
Gideon Charles Gleeful, clean up your room this instant!
I can buy and sell you, old man!
Fair enough.
Little Gideon is a phony sidekick and child psychopath who is so power crazy he ultimately undoes his own plans by going after the Pines twins with this huge giant robot version of himself. Why? Because he believes they have a book with hidden knowledge he desires, even though he already drove them out of town and were no longer a threat to him.
Free admission to everyone who wears their Gideon pins! It's my face!
Gideon has the whole grifter method down to a T. Gideon is driven by an unshakable, narcissistic need to be dominant and powerful. This ego-driven engine views everyone else, his followers, his parents, even Mabel, as either tools to be manipulated or obstacles to be crushed. He doesn't destroy for the sake of destruction, just for what stands in his way. The neutral evil character is defined by the self, and Gideon is the poster child for this.
Move it, you little troll!
First come, first serve!
Anime tends to have their characters go through substantial arcs throughout its lifespan. This allows them to showcase how moral one can truly be. Check the Dragon Ball series for example. Many heroes and villains change throughout the course of certain arcs. Piccolo started off as a big bad, but eventually worked with Goku and joined him on many adventures. Vegeta is a whole roller coaster, going from lawful evil to chaotic good to probably a true neutral character now. But one character who seems to stay the same is the Galactic Conqueror Frieza.
I didn't think I'd see Vegeta here too, but monkeys do travel in troops. All that really matters to me is I finally get to destroy you.
Frieza is just a cheeky little invader, isn't he? He will take over a planet, cleanse it clean of life, and sell it to the highest bidder. Though he is ruler of the Empire, it doesn't seem to serve any purpose other than making him more money, glory, and power. He is a bad boss of the worst sort, who once blew up a world of his elite warrior race because he heard a rumor that they might become strong enough to defeat him. And his goal to achieve immortality so he can be the strongest in the universe forever is a little cheating, and definitely not a case of a fragile ego. Talk about a deadly force.
Will you be oh so disappointed if I decline?
A little, yeah.
Well then, in that case I decline.
Okay, fine. Suit yourself.
I'm joking, don't go!
Breaking, another Disney villain has hit the top 10.
A second Lego tower has hit the stream.
Yeah, Ursula is a great villain and all, but when she's stacked against some of the greats that defined the 90s Disney's renaissance, well, she's still favorably liked. But there's more that outshine her. I would say Judge Frollo is one of the purest evil in my opinion, but he follows the rules unlike most. So instead, I'm going for the lion who was so close to give reign to the throne but lost to a baby cub. The underhanded schemer, Scar.
Uncle Scar, when I'm king, what'll that make you?
A monkey's uncle.
You're so weird.
You have no idea.
Scar's entire narrative arc is the selfish practicality. Unlike his brother Mufasa, who embodies lawful good through his dedication to the circle of life and the pride's established order, Scar represents no inherent law of the land, be it natural or social. His relationships are more transactional, like with the hyenas who were banished from the Pride Lands, or his manipulation with a young Simba, convincing him to be the cause of his father's death.
Run away, Simba. Run away and never return.
Run, bitch!
Scar commits the ultimate crime, fratricide and regicide, but he doesn't do it chaotically. He meticulously plans Mufasa's death and Simba's exile, then manufactures a believable narrative of a tragic accident. Once king, Scar's rule immediately degenerates because he governs solely for his own comfort. The circle of life, the laws of the savannah, and the needs of the pride are ignored. He allows the hyenas to overhunt, destroy the ecosystem, and drain the pride lands dry. The land's suffering is a side effect of his supreme self-interest. He wanted the crown, and everything else is secondary.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Now you, Scar, I mean, you're one of us. I mean, you're our pal.
Charmed.
Villains come in all shapes and sizes. They can be a monstrous being ready to wreak havoc at a nearby city, and sometimes they come in the size of a one-celled organism with a crippling inferiority complex. I like to call it the Napoleon complex, since the French emperor is short and narcissistic, just like our number 2 character here. While he may be tiny, he has a huge diabolical plan to take over Bikini Bottom, or at least the Krusty Krab.
Hey, you can't talk to my grandson like that. Someone ought to put you in a mental hospital.
Someone should put you in a box floating down the river, Grandma!
You're probably right.
Plankton has one goal in mind, to steal the Krabby Patty's secret formula. He isn't interested in cosmic conquest, societal overhaul, or even truly massive wealth. He just wants to dominate the local fast food market so his pathetic restaurant can finally succeed. I mean, have you seen that place? It looks like a chum bucket. Oh, wait, that's what the actual restaurant is called. My bad.
Right now, I wish I was in a coma.
Plankton's methods are wildly inconsistent concerning any established moral or legal code, which perfectly embodies the neutral part of the alignment. He is just as willing to operate within the system as he is to engage in outright acts of illegal chaos, like mind control, theft, sabotage, and grand larceny. If a scheme requires him to be temporarily charming, he will be. If it requires him to unleash a terrifying monster on Bikini Bottom, he will do that too. The only rule he follows is the one that says, get the formula.
You never had a chance to defeat me, fool! And you know why?
Because you cheated?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Before we get to my top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Hello, inferior evil beings. Aren't you tired of unexpected guests in your villa of villainy? Not anymore.
Black Cat is a perfect combination of selfishness, greed, and deliberate malice. He proudly boasts about how vile he is, and doesn't really seem to care about legal authority, openly selling illegal weapons and other products frowned upon by international law. At least he's selling his talents to aspiring villains, though.
I know there's something more for me. It's funny, I've never told this to anyone before. Just you.
I've never watched Berserk, and even I know about this character's infamous upbringing. Griffith dreamed about ruling a kingdom of his own. He gets his chance when joining the God Hand, betraying his own soldiers and becoming the man known as Femto, having his own dominion as a haven of order while the world plunges in chaos. Truly despicable.
A spectral energy neutralizer designed by Skulker, paid for by me. And as long as you're contained within that box, you're as human as your idiot father.
Supremely selfish in his motives for evil, Vlad is a devious villain with some good publicity. Trying to take back the woman that he loves and destroying his best friend, Vlad makes it his mission to rip apart the Fenton family and have Danny be his surrogate son. It doesn't matter if the Fentons don't want this, Vlad wants this, and that's all that matters.
Once in my life, I had everything, and then you had to find this room.
A cackling hitman that sounds a lot like the Joker for some reason. Well, they're both played by Mark Hamill, so that checks out. The Hobgoblin is motivated by self-interest, who wants all the money and the power that he can get his hands on, and he'll do anything for it, as long as it gets past the Fox Kids censors.
Fun fact about Voodoo Larry. Can't conjure a thing for myself. Besides, you and I both know the real power in this world ain't magic. It's money.
One of the coolest Disney villains ever, Dr. Facilier sold his soul to the friends of the other side for power, and uses said power to screw people over for laughs and giggles, and throws others under the bus in order to keep them from collecting. And with that, let's get to number 1, my top pick for the best neutral evil animated character. Honestly, for the top spot, I wanted a character that would follow one's rules and orders to a high degree, like they were a loyal servant, and immediately sabotage them with every ounce of sheer will they had. The traitor that would be so self-centered, so overly ambitious, and would often scheme their way up to the top of the leadership totem pole. While the great leader of the Decepticons, Megatron, is a good example of lawful evil, sometimes you need a second in command that would oppose those laws greatly.
Someday I'll be giving the orders, Rumble. You'll do what I say.
Starscream embodies neutral evil to an almost comical degree. Starscream serves as Megatron's right-hand bot, seemingly following orders, yet his true allegiance is only to the throne he believes is destined to occupy. This is the perfect neutral evil conflict. He is an opportunist who will obey Megatron's rule when it is necessary for his survival. He accepts the structure of the Decepticon military as a vehicle for his own power. Every scheme, every attempted backstab, every moment of subservience is merely a tactic in his overarching, self-serving campaign. He is evil because his every action is motivated by personal gain and a towering ego, showing no regard for the lives of Autobots, the safety of the Decepticons he leads, or even the success of overarching Decepticon mission if it doesn't directly benefit him.
Now it's my turn.
Please, don't fire. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. Please, don't shoot.
And that's my list. I may have forgotten some evil characters that you would consider pretty neutral, so let me know in the comments. Next up, we're finally reaching the end of this alignment list with the most chaotic of the evil characters in animation out there, so I'm excited to see who stacks up on that list. But until then, please like and subscribe for more animation essays and opinions and top 10 lists, and I will see you next time.